And welcome back. So, every once in a while, I can't keep track of everything I've done. I have thousands of videos on my channel. So when someone brought up someone said that I had already done Pennywise versus SCP, SCP 096, the Shy Guy, I went, wait, what? And I looked up. I'm like, shit. So I basically just chose a random one from the same person, Shang Tsung. And now we have Grimmjow Jaggerjax from Bleach, Espada number 6, or former Espada number 6, gonna adjust that real quick, versus Doflamingo, who is a pirate warlord from One Piece. And if I had just been thinking for more than 10 seconds, because I was just looking for the first one where like I knew the characters well enough to do it right off the top of my head, I'm like, this probably should be in the speed round. But, okay. So the Espada, if you're not a Bleach fan, are a group of characters who are called a Ronkar. Now, what a Ronkar is it's a hollow who was able to remove their mask and basically take on greater power by removing it. And they seal all their original power into their sword. Their Zanpakuto's actually releases their hollow powers. It's not a cool effect like normal Zanpakuto is. And for those of you wondering what a hollow is, when you die, you can just be your normal soul, but you have your little chain, and there's a hole there, or a chain that starts to form a hole if you're not careful. When that hole is finally open, you basically become a hollow, which means you're kind of devoid of, you're hollow, you're missing something, and you're constantly seeking hunger. You have a constantly seeking hunger that cannot be satiated. You keep attacking other souls, individuals, things along those lines. Well, Grimmjow, in a group of 10, ranks number 6. Now, those numbers at this point don't mean anything anymore. We've long since we've moved away from the Espada rankings, and Grimmjow's grown much stronger since then. But as Espada number 6, he also has a certain trait to him. You see, all the Espada actually embody an aspect of death in our general world. Grimmjow, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Grimmjow, the 6th Espada represents destruction. And basically mutual destruction. Like, you destroy whatever's around you, but also destroy yourself. And so because of that, he is like a constantly battle-hungry, like, beast. His original form was that of a big cat, panther-style hollow. And when he releases his Zanpakuto, he looks like that, what you see on the screen there. Zanpakuto is called Pantera. It's grind, Pantera! And then he turns into this, which enhances all of his physical abilities. Gives him claws. He can shoot like, I don't want to say they're claw rocket, but elbow missiles, kind of. They don't really explode, but they can pierce an opponent and do a lot of damage. He's also got an ability, God, I can't remember the name of it. He gets giant energy claws that are attached to his claws, and he can just rake the sky and do massive amounts of damage. And as any hollow, he can fire a Sero. He's also the first one to demonstrate the Grand Ray Sero, which is essentially when a hollow or an Ronkar mixes their blood with a Sero, it makes a green, more powerful Sero, which is capable of destroying the whole of Las Noches without any difficulties. As always with the Espada 2, he's got his Yaro, which is iron skin, making him far more durable. He's able to use Sonido, which is their super speed abilities. Seros are stated to be light speed, basically, so they are beams of light, and he can move faster than that, so he's multiple times faster than the speed of light. He's insanely durable, capable of taking equal or greater attacks than what he's capable of dishing out, which he's capable of dishing out. It's difficult to say where he was in terms of strength, because a lot of the higher up Espadas really do rank probably in the planetary level ranges of power, as do all the higher level captains, and some of the higher level captains rank even higher than that. Grimmjow, though, even with enhanced physicality, is probably not. Let me put it this way: he probably just edges on the teeters on the edge of planetary, especially if you go with like the light novels and the fact he's gotten even stronger. But before anyone says he's never displayed that, that's where scaling comes in. If he can fight generally an individual who can dish out that kind of power, which he can, then he should be able to dish out that type of power himself. Now, before anyone else gets on my case about something I said in the Q&A, I did say just because you could beat a multiversal level opponent doesn't theoretically make you multiversal. If you have a specific ability designed to counter that individual's ability, but you're not multiversal, that doesn't mean you still can't beat the individual. But generally speaking, when it comes to scaling, yes, you can usually, at least in the Bleach world, you can take the idea that someone who is planetary fighting someone on equal foot makes them also planetary. It's a roundabout way of me saying, yes, I do think Grimmjow, as we know him as this point in the series, is probably a planetary level threat if he wanted to be so. He's also a skilled master hand-to-hand fighter, ferocious in nature. He is a beast. Doflamingo is a pirate lord. He's still alive. He basically, the long and short of his backstory, and I don't follow One Piece, so I don't know it by heart. He was a kid, got bullied or not picked on, but like literally like messed with a lot. They were like on their own for a good long while. He hated his father, if I remember correctly. He ultimately gained control of the string fruit by eating it and became a pirate, and he just became a psychopath. And he enjoyed every minute of it. I am simplifying his story to a nutshell because that doesn't matter here. What does matter is his long-term experience and skill in terms of his battle capacity. And he is a skilled fighter. He is he's a very skilled tactician, capable of planning things out long in advance. He is also a very durable individual, taking many hits from Luffy's Gear 4 Bound Man, and still was able to get back up. And that's a lot of strength that being thrown at him. But obviously his most dangerous ability is the string fruit, which, as you may know, or as you may think, based on name, allows you to create these strings. You can either create these strings just from your fingers, and these strings these strings are sharp, they are strong, they can cut through a lot of things, like, and power of strong things. Like, he can literally cut a mountain or a ship in half. It's really not out of the realm of possibility for him to not be able to do that. He can tie people up. He can create defenses. He can even make string clones. And then when he awoken his fruit, he can literally just turn non-living things into strings and manipulate them. He created a freaking bird cage that basically prevented anyone from leaving it. It was kind of ridiculous. So I'm simplifying Doflamingo because, like I said, this almost certainly would be I should have put this in the speed round because Grimmjow on just a power level, but just sheer power alone, eclipses most One Piece characters. Like I said, if he's not at planet level, he's on the verge of planet level, and he was comparable to Ichigo in the Wako Mundo arc, and got stronger since then. He's not comparable to Ichigo now, because if he was, then oh god. But it was roughly comparable to Ichigo. Ichigo did ultimately end up beating him. But he's gotten stronger since. Where he actually lands is a very good question. We will probably get a better idea of where he probably lands once we see him in the 1,000-Year Blood War arc anime. But at the moment, like, we already know he's faster than light by multiple times. And even though there are some light speed level feats in One Piece, like the Pika Pika no Mi, if I'm not mistaken, who Kizaru, he has that fruit. He can turn into light, and he basically can move at light speed. But general, like, straight light speed is not a common feat in One Piece, at least not until near the end of the series when you're getting to like Gear 5 Luffy and some of the much stronger characters. And even then, it's still not a common feat. It just becomes more common. Similar to like Naruto, light speed level feats don't become more common until the end of the series, whereas light speed level feats existed from the get in Bleach. So, like, anyone who knew Sunito or Shumpo or showed off a Ceroblast, that's a light speed level feat. Even though it doesn't look like it, even though it doesn't look like it, because of the way Ceros are described, they are described as light. Spiritual light, so they should by essence be moving at light speed. And even though it looks like it's moving slow, you could make the argument that's just from the perception of the characters who can outpace that. So yeah, and take that for what it's worth. But point is, we already know Grimmjow's multiple times faster than light, which means he's already going to be outspeeding Doflamingo. He can fire Ceros, which also move at light speed and can do mass damage. let's get out of the way right now. I forgot to mention hockey. I actually did forget to mention that. I believe Doflamingo is a master of all three hockeys. I think he can use all three hockeys. I'm actually blanking on that. Can he use all three? I know he can use armament hockey. I think he can use Conqueror's hockey, and I believe perception hockey is one of the few. Yes, he can use all three hockey. So the question now becomes, do any of those hockey actually help him in this? Well, unfortunately, I don't think his will is going to be overpowering Grimmjow. It's just Grimmjow's will and destruction capabilities are so, and just tenacity are so powerful, it overpowered a drug that puts you in a loop. And when you complete the loop 10 times, a part of your brain shuts down, you lock up and paralyze yourself. But that was from Mayuri, who puts a lot of scientists to shame with some of his shit. And he outmatched that. So I don't think Conqueror's hockey is going to do anything. Although it's not actually Conqueror's. Apparently he possesses the ability to use Supreme King hockey, a rare form of hockey that only several million people in the world can use, and is a capable user of it, shown as when he knocked out the majority of the Marines. Basically, this just allows you to enforce your will into someone else and just make them pass out. The only thing here that could probably help him out in a fight against Grimmjow, he also wields a gun. Great, not going to do shit against Grimmjow. Moving on. But he's also got armament hockey. This is the one, like I said, that I think will be the most advantageous for him. Now, generally speaking, how it's depicted is you gain like this, whatever part you're coating with this hockey turns like jet black, but has like this white light around it as well. So that would at least give him some durability to survive the onslaught that Grimmjow would be putting onto him. So the question then becomes, he's a tactically smart guy. He's very capable. Could he use his string fruit and bind and maybe cut up Grimmjow? Could he bind Grimmjow? Yes. I think Grimmjow could be obsessed with just killing him. They just would not be paying attention to the fine-tuned scenarios of like strings and invisible strings. And so like it's should get past it. It's like, all right, choppy. It's like choppy. I wonder, do cats have 9 lives? And then just tries to, and he just pulls. And then that Hyaru kicks in and it's like, but maybe it's strong enough to maybe kind of cut him, and he's actually impressive. But then all he has to do is flex Ryatsu, which, where he's already an individual who can easily threaten a country on his own with no problem, blow it to hell with a Sero, if he really wanted to. Then that's without even releasing his Zanpakuto. So he just kind of gets out of there, and he can just Sunito and point blank blast Doflamingo. Assuming he could survive that blast to the face with armament hockey, Grimmjow just would decide, grind, Penta, and then just turn into this. And at that point, he can shred, speed blitz, incinerate him, everything. Like, eviscerate him, or incinerate, the Sero still. It's just not a good matchup. Well, Bleach between the big three, One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach, the scaling of Bleach is just the highest of the three. It's not really that big of a contested argument. I know I'm going to get One Piece fans saying I'm either wanking Grimmjow, wanking Bleach, and do you not understand Doflamingo? It's like, guys, your world has never shown a true planetary feat. Maybe Luffy in Gear 5 could maybe show something, but even then, like, you don't have anything that threatens the actual fabric of reality. You don't have anything that's threatening the planet. Bleach did that time and time again. It introduced concepts like a guy who's holding 3 different realities together. Like, it's not a competition when it comes to scaling. Bleach is the highest scaled of the big 3. The evidence is just there. So, yeah, unfortunately, this is why it's a bit of a smackdown. Now, I'm not trying to argue what's the better anime or the better manga. I'm a Bleach fan myself, but I'm not arguing whether or not One Piece is better or anything like that. It's just, or who's the better character. I'm simply arguing who wins in a fight. And in that scenario, I pick Grimmjow. So, that's my thoughts. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See you next time.